I'm David Holden. I've been working here along the coast of California, Central Coast California, for 36 plus years. Started my career out as a citrus PCA and then avocados, and later expanded my business into vegetables and strawberries. About 10 years ago, I followed my passion and started my own full-time research company and spend most of my days doing third-party contract research for most of the majors and many of the minor both pest control and nutrient management companies in the United States here. I recommend Transit to my growers because I find that it is consistent in its performance in providing production increases. It helps establish the crop quicker when we're talking about tree crops. I see better utilization of the major macronutrients and the micronutrients. Results have been very good with uptake of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, along with calcium and zinc. We see benefits from the addition of Transit to calcium in strawberries with longer shelf life for the strawberries. I've conducted over 100 trials utilizing FBSciences products, most of which have been with Transit. And in these trials, I've seen over 90% of them yield consistently significant increases in yield and other parameters that we've studied. One of the things I've found with Transit is, particularly on the vegetable crops, we see increased fine root hair production. And if you have fine root hair production, you also find more efficiency in the uptake of nutrients. In other words, the root hairs can mine the soil more efficiently when you have more of them. And so they'll utilize the nutrients that are in the soil more efficiently than if you didn't have as many fine root hairs. In a processing tomato trial conducted in 2012, just completed about a week ago, we saw a 10% increase in overall yield through the use of Transit through the tape on these tomatoes. In a fresh market trial conducted 2 years ago on pole tomatoes, we saw over 22% increase in total yield of marketable tomatoes. I've also found that when utilizing Transit, it needs to be put on multiple times during the season. In most of the vegetable and fruit production trials I've conducted, we generally put on 3 to 4 applications a season. On vegetable crops, I'll make an application within 2 or 3 weeks of planting, and then another application 3 weeks later, and another application 3 weeks later. Half-life on the product is probably about a month, so I like to get it on before that half-life is finished. Transit can be used by itself or in combination with most liquid or dry fertilizers. I found it to be consistent. As long as there's nutrients in the soil, it takes advantage of those nutrients in the soil. So it doesn't necessarily have to go on with the fertilizer, but it can go on in conjunction with your regular fertilizer applications. I've got 3 trials going, testing this concept of reduced inputs of particularly nitrogen, anywhere from a 10 to 25% reduction of normal grower inputs for nitrogen. And to date, we have data from celery that has shown no decrease in production or decrease in quality, yet we have decreased our nitrogen inputs by 25%. And actually, we find that the plants where we've had the 25% reduction in combination with the Transit, we have slightly better chlorophyll development in the leaves. Transit soil will have an impact on food production, not just in one state or the United States, but throughout the world. I believe this product will help to alleviate some of the need for higher production levels with less and less arable ground, less and less water, and more people. In my 30 years of doing this research, I've seen some pretty significant products come along. Transit is one of those products that really got my attention, and it still has my attention.